art for you is how it's received by the individual?
I think art, like beauty, is in the eye of the beholder, and even though I first have to please myself as a writer, I ultimately have to write to please my readers.
But that's my point about, I mean, you really care about how people respond to art and to your art.
Most artists are validated by the public's response. I'm no exception. I'd like to think that I do have an instinct about what consumers of creative fiction want, however.
You know, a kind of sixth sense, that your ability to somehow identify or nail an image or an object as something that captures the zeitgeist of the moment. Do you feel that, any of that?
Sure do. If there's one thing I'm in tune with, it's the zeitgeist. But it's all about the writing, really. All about the work.
The work, the work, the work.
Yes, yes, and yes. But, you know, after you've written several books, it is nice to step back and reflect on your whole body of work, too. At one point, I just felt I needed a break from the new book launch treadmill.
Or you just simply found yourself at a moment in which you had enough and you wanted to see it in its entirety at a venue.
Good way of putting it, yes.
It's not easy to put your stuff up.
Well, it's not too hard once it's written. Basically, the publisher takes care of all the rest. Or the movie studio, as was the case for Cowboys and Aliens. They liberally borrowed, as you know, from Future Perfect for their movie without my permission. I did contact lawyers, did the research, made the rounds. They actually encouraged my anger, kind of a trying process.
What impact did all of that have on you?
You know, at first I was flattered. It was pretty cool seeing part one of my first book up on the big screen, and in spite of the infringement of my copyright. That did soon give way to anger, though, but you know, I got over it enough, at least, to let the lawyers do their thing, and in other words, I didn't let it keep me from doing, you know, some of the other things that I was doing creatively. And I still feel that if somebody's inspired by my writing in such a way that they legitimately create something, and that applies to either writing or art or even science, I'll take some pride in being a catalyst for that.
A catalyst of our culture.
Sure, that too. If the likes of my hero, Cord Devlin, could inspire culture, I do think that my next work of fiction will be inspiring. It'll be an anthology. It'll have a collection of short pieces of science fiction featuring some of the characters that I've made famous in books, including Cord Devlin.
To talk about some of the specific pieces, but I mean, today, you're a physical nut. I mean, you work out. You're very concerned about living a long and happy life, because you had said you want to be as creative as you can into your late 80s.
True, but I could see myself retiring too. Ask me again in a couple of decades.